In a sales situation, offer your prospect alternatives to the product you're pitching them, and preferably alternatives that they don't want. What's happening? It's Erik J. Olson. As we continue to learn more and more about selling effectively through our partnership with Cardone University, one of the things that has been stressed to us is that we need to offer alternatives to our prospect instead of just pitching one thing to them. Now, we have been doing this for a long time. We've been offering alternatives. And I got this idea years ago from social media, from someone that I follow. His name is Dan Locke. And what he said is, if you have one thing that you're selling a prospect, then they have a yes or no decision to make. Do they want it, yes or no? But if you introduce a second thing, I don't have a second stress ball to show YouTube, but let's say you have a second thing, a Pepsi can. Huh? If you have a second thing, now the question for them is not so much yes or no to this one thing, but which one of these do they want? And he went on to say that in his experience, that increases the likelihood that he's going to get a sale, one of the two. And if you introduce a third thing, then it also greatly introduces or increases the chances that you're going to have some sort of a sale. Now, it's the highest value thing usually gets picked the lowest amount of time, right? So maybe only 10% of the time do they pick the high value thing. They usually pick something in the middle and a very low percent in the low value thing. So when we introduced alternatives, it was for that reason, to give people not only the product that we were recommending, but to also give them a lower option and a higher value option as far as money goes for their budget. And that was the only reason that we offered alternatives, was we were trying to get within their budget, whether they told us the budget or not. But what we have discovered from this training is that alternatives serve a completely different purpose. And like what I just said is valid, but there's another reason that you want to offer alternatives. Because if I say, I want this black stress ball, right? And then a salesperson comes along and says, oh, I got you, Erik. We can sell you that. But would you want this Pepsi can instead? My answer is going to be either, yeah, tell me more about that Pepsi can, which means that I wasn't sold on the black stress ball to begin with. Or my answer is going to be, no, Erik, I don't want a Pepsi can. I want a black stress ball. And when if that's my response, then what that means is I have the right product. The salesperson is pitching me the right product. There's confirmation that the product is correct. And that is a huge purpose of alternatives, which we never discovered until going through the sales training. Alternatives either tell you as a salesperson that you are on the right product with this prospect, or you're not. It's one or the other. And so that is a huge reason to give prospects alternatives. Now, in the intro to this episode, I said, give them alternatives, preferably ones they don't want. Because if I want this black stress ball, and then the salesperson offers me this alternative, I don't want that. I don't want this Pepsi can. I want this black stress ball, right? Now, granted, the example that I'm using, I'm just picking stuff up off of my desk, but I've verified I want this black stress ball. And so now we're on the right product, and it's just a matter of convincing them that the price that is being charged is the right price for the product they want. First, get them on the right product, then get them on the right price.
Hey there, it's Erik J. Olson. I wanted to let you know about my book, $1 Million Journey, How to Launch a 7-Figure Business. This is the story of what it took for me to go from freelancer with no clients, no employees, no revenue, to growing a $1 million business. It took me 8 years, and I made a lot of mistakes. And all of those mistakes, and more importantly, lessons learned, are in this book. And we have chapter takeaways, 5 to 15 takeaways that you can apply right now to your business. Check it out on Amazon, $1 Million Journey by me, Erik J. Olson.